Are we ready for the music?
I'm all
Born ready.
Okay, with compliments to Fernando for sending me this 2 minutes ago.
Amazing.
I'm not sure when it's going to reach a natural peak.
Yeah, that sounds different to normal.
No.
Yeah, somehow ancient Chinese music is a bit different from normal. Why did you pick this one?
Well, because I was caught by surprise last time. I didn't have a movie ready, but then I do have a list of movies that I want to see, and that was top of my list for some reason. I think it was... Yep. I mean, I guess it is black and white, so I guess it is fair to say that it might be a classic. I don't know. Yeah, that's why I chose it. Not because I really
appear
wanted to see
top Mexican films or top Mexican films of the 1950s. Just to let you know.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Wow.
okay, right.
But I'm assuming it does appear in the top films of Pedro Infante.
Probably. I'm actually not sure. Yes, I've heard of that film. Sorry, it's a margarita. So I picked it.
We've seen Pedro Infante before, haven't we?
We have.
Yes, we have, yes.
We the Poor, 1948.
Indeed.
We're becoming aficionados.
Still a very average-looking man, I must say.
Oh, cruel.
He's dead, Michael. He can't hear me.
Oh, the poor guy. Are you glad you picked it?
Well, the first time I watched it, because I watched it twice. Once when I guess first watched it, and then for the second one when I was writing the subtitles. The first time I watched it, I hated it. I was like, I can't believe that I have to write subtitles for this film.
Okay.
But then the second time, because I took so long in rewatching it, I guess I appreciate it a little bit more. So instead of giving it 2 stars, I would raise my rating to 3 stars.
Okay.
Although I'm not sure if I'm being... I just don't know if I'm being too cruel or too generous. I'm interested in getting to know your opinion.
Okay. Well, yeah, first, a bit definite, we're not worthy to the commitment to Film Club that you showed when we found that we couldn't get hold of an English subtitle version in writing subtitles for us was above and beyond what could have been expected.
I was thinking that the commitment that you have to Film Club is even higher because, I mean, you edit all the episodes and that surely must take so much time. So I commend your dedication to the Film Club, and I think you are the ultimate hero. I've just done...
Oh, thank you. Am I the real MVP?
Yes, you're the MVP, indeed.
Thank you. That's very kind of you. I mean, most of the time that is a pretty quick job. Like I'm not a.
Still, you've done it for more than 100 episodes now.
That's
so
true.
That really that adds up to more than all the hours that I've dedicated.
Before I bailed on the whole thing,
Laura's done a few of them.
I did about 5, and then I was like, nah.
You tried to do it properly, though. That was the issue.
Yes, and she's helped out with the Oscars episodes as well. That was a big deal.
Clips. That was fun. But
and
yes,
Claire, you're just great.
Yeah, we just love having you here.
We love you.
Everyone loves some dead weight.
Oh.
No, you keep the symbolism round alive.
Sorry. So all this is to say thank you very much, Fernando, for allowing us to experience this film.
The subtitles were my favourite part of the whole film.
Well, the thing is, once I wrote the subtitles, I was like self-conscious because surely we were just reading, I guess, the Fernando speak of the film. So you surely identified my way of speaking in the subtitles.
Yes, I think it was possible to detect that.
I heard some of your voice creeping through, yes.
Quote, it's impossible to understand what this kid is saying.
Yes.
Voice of Jose Maria saying things no one can understand. Facts about Mexico.
Yes.
Yeah, you really gave us something extra. I appreciated you code naming all of the people who didn't have character names.
Yeah.
Alpha.
That was really good.
I enjoyed that.
All of which is to say that this was a great watch. It was only made better by your subtitles, but I thought it was a good film as well.
Interesting.
Claire, what did you think?
I thought it had good bits in it, it had bad bits. I would say 3 stars was pretty
Yeah.
I'm
reasonable.
glad we agree. I'm glad we concur.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too, I think. Laura?
Yeah, 3.
Yeah.
Verging on a downturn. What is with Mexicans? My God, you're as bad as the Irish for making depressing films about poverty. Cheer up, guys! It's not all bad.
Poverty porn, don't they?
It's definitely up there. I mean, Fernando, I guess you can't really answer to this, but is this because you are biased towards depressing films about poor people suffering? Or are all Mexican films like this? Because we've had this one, we've had Macario, we've had Nosotros los Pobres, and I think we've had something else as well, right?
No, I think that Mexicans are prejudiced against people that have would have money. So we just enjoy being poor and talking about it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's a common topic among Mexicans.
Well,
I mean, we despise rich people. There's a word for rich Mexicans, and that's whitexicans, because only white people can be rich.
that's fantastic.
Okay. Phew. This one pulled a few more punches than We the Poor, which was unremittingly bleak. This one, there was somehow some hope in various bits, and they kept it light a bit more often. But, it was tough.
A tiny little boy dies, and then the man tries to commit suicide.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
So I think it began with hope, but it very quickly shattered all of it. And then in the end, they say they just end up thanking God for their misfortune. And then it ends.
It was quite a sudden ending, wasn't it?
I hate that as well. I hate that. I mean, anyone can believe whatever they want to believe, but I don't know. I don't like living in a country that is predominantly Catholic. I think around 90-something% of the population is Catholic.
That came through in the film for sure.
Yes, I detected some religious themes.
It was, you almost wondered if it was, it seemed to be presented to the audience as like something to aspire to, this religious devotion. But it almost, I could almost imagine that the writer kind of meant it as a satire or a commentary, because this idea that the film ends with just this dreadful thing having happened, and all we can see is just like, this is what religion is. It's to sort of get people by, something for people just to sort of pacify them and maybe make their suffering a bit more bearable.
But like opium, you might say.
Yes. Thank you, Carl.
For the masses, you might say.
One might. It's a bit sinister, isn't it? That
kind of.
It's a way to stop people being... Because anger is what would drive change, and it's a way to stop people being angry, make them think it's a blessing. Yeah. Don't like it.
But then the religion is, this life is one tiny fraction of eternity, and all you need to do is prepare your soul for the afterlife. And
yeah, but you don't get an afterlife. You just are poor forever and feel bad about not liking it, and then you die.
That's what this film would have us believe.
Sinister. It's horrible.
I don't know. They would have been poor anyway.
Well, they might have tried to affect change if they hadn't thought it was.
Oh,
like
they were. I mean, they were constantly scrabbling for change. Were they not?
They were, they were scrabbling to get by, weren't they? I suppose they took riches when they could, but yeah, it wasn't great. They didn't have this feeling of just this being wrong. They didn't have this feeling that the reason they're in this mess is because people don't treat each other right. They say this is one of the reasons Bangladesh is becoming so much a better place to live in than India. Pretty much because in India it's predominantly a Hindu country where people believe in reincarnation. So if you do well, if you do good things in your life, you'll be born as a rich person next time round, which really doesn't give you an impetus to help lift up the poor because it's their own fault for being bad in previous lives. Whereas in Bangladesh, they have Islam, which is this religion that requires people to donate to the poor and that kind of thing.
Interesting.
Wait, what is the Catholic position? The Catholic position is that you should just accept that you're poor and that's it? That being poor is a blessing? Or
Suffering brings you closer to God?
Yeah, did Jesus say it's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich person to go to heaven?
Yeah.
Wow.
Which must be a comforting thought if you're one of the many poor of history.
I'm glad that I'm not rich then.
Yep, there we go. I'll just burn my house down and I'm sure I'll have a great afterlife. Anyway, wasn't Pedro Infante handsome?
No.
No?
No, but his wife was
More or less.
attractive.
More or less.
His wife was also attractive. I couldn't see particularly well because it wasn't a very good quality video.
I put mine up on my TV as well, which made it so much worse, but I didn't want to watch it on my laptop. So.
The Criterion Collection really needs to pay a visit to this film, sharpen it up a bit.
You should just send them your subtitled version, Fernando.
Yeah.
I saw people complaining on
Send me
Reddit.
my royalties anytime.
People were complaining on Reddit that these films like Macario and another famous one that I can't remember the name of don't have English subtitles and aren't accessible to people who don't speak Spanish. And I thought, well, get Fernando on YouTube.
Yeah.
Should we just upload it to YouTube?
I think so.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, I mean, you have my permission to upload it if anyone wants to upload it.
Excellent stuff. Maybe we should do.
We definitely should.
I mean,
Michael?
Will the filmmakers be upset?
They're dead, Claire.
Yeah.
Exactly, they're dead.
I mean, I think, Fernando, you downloaded the original video from YouTube, right?
Oh, I said yes. Well, I mean, technically you downloaded it, but yes, we downloaded it from YouTube.
We downloaded it, yeah, just on the record that I was an accomplice in that whole illegal exchange.
Oh, sorry, I did not mean to incriminate you. No, I downloaded it. I'm the criminal.
Excellent.
No, I downloaded it. I'm the criminal.
I'm Spartacus.
I didn't
Claire.
as usual. So I'm not.
Well, one thing you have done for us, Claire, is send us a picture of Marga Lopez there.
She is a looker.
Margarita
She
from
is.
the film. Yeah. Definite entrant for hottest actor 2026.
Top
Totty right there. Oh, I really wish we'd had an HD version now. Look at the way her eyes are sort of coming out of the picture. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Wait, did you not think anything of Sonia? I thought she was the most handsome one or most beautiful girl.
Sonia.
Oh.
Was that the daughter? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sonia didn't do it for me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
I liked Sonia the best. I thought she was the most attractive.
I also
Some people like a bad girl, right?
She had a heart of gold.
Yeah. She can whip me any day.
I actually thought the plot was going to be a lot different than it was.
What did you think was going to happen?
I thought that Sonia was going to... So you remember they made that sort of prediction where she was like, well, let's see who's happier. I'm going to be rich and you're going to be poor, but you'll have love, but we'll see if that makes you happy. Whereas I'm going to... And I thought when she got Pedro the job by sort of sleeping with this rich gangster, that her story was going to be that she kind of sacrificed her own happiness to give them money to make them happy.
Right.
It was kind of like a switching of the predictions, like a sort of selfless sacrifice that I thought would have been very poignant. But
that would have been an interesting story.
No. No, she did get him a job, but he lost that very quickly. And then she was like, bye.
And then she just stayed on with the gangster until he got, threw her out.
Yeah, and then was punished for being such a whore.
Yeah. But she saw the light in the end, didn't she? Came back and decided to change her ways.
Yeah. She was good. She was probably my favourite character.
Really?
Yeah.
She was my favorite character as well.
I did not have much sympathy for anyone else.
Wow. I mean, she was out... Really? She was so mean to her dad and to everyone.
Oh, yeah, but her dad was annoying, and he had a weird relationship with her. I think he should have let her go.
I
don't know. It felt a bit controlling.
I see.
Or, I don't know. He was a bit of a wet blanket, and Pedro was a bit of a wet blanket, and his wife was a bit of a wet blanket.
Wow.
And Pedro just complained all the time. And I thought, stop complaining, Pedro. Look at what you've got. Be happy about it. And then his wife was so sycophantically devoted to him that she didn't have really any personality either. So Sonia was the only one who I could really get behind. And I thought, yeah, do go marry the gangster. Take a chance.
Yeah. So
I wish I were Sonia.
You could be.
I could be. I will marry for money.
Excellent.
Anytime.
Good call. So I can see an objection to you're watching a film and there's a sort of goody two shoes and you don't root for the goody two shoes.
Yeah.
But I really found I was rooting for the goody two shoes. Although Pedro is one character I do want to talk about because I think he was very flawed. He was definitely presented as the hero and as being pious and being sort of selfless and that kind of thing, but also he had these bad personality flaws, right?
He was sexist.
He certainly was.
Yes.
I think even for the time and the culture he was in, he just that sort of presented as pride. It's basically a good thing to insist on paying for everything yourself rather than someone else. But it was this very I'm the man. I will not accept anything from any woman, and that kind of, these were ugly character traits.
What was she supposed to spend the money on if she wasn't allowed to pay for things?
Yeah,
could have bought herself
exactly.
Some
Didn't even make sense.
Bought herself some new shoes.
I think at some point he asked her to stop working. So basically, I guess that he was expecting for her not to earn any money.
Ah, so once she's married. Ah, yeah, that was tradition there as well.
Yeah, which is all very well if you've actually got the money to keep a family, which he never did.
Yeah, he was just totally destitute the entire film.
Yeah.
But he had his pride.
He had his pride until he lost his pride by becoming a clown.
I also thought that was going to be different.
Really?
You remember when they saw a guy in the marketplace pretending to be a dog the first time?
Yeah.
And he was like, I'd never do that. God, what a loser. Never be me. You'd never catch me doing that. Anyway, and I thought, aha, interesting. Some foreshadowing. And then later on when he said, oh, I'd do anything for money, I'd even murder someone. And I thought, aha, this is his crawling around on the floor like a dog moment. It's symbolic. Aha, he has Diplo. But then no, that wasn't it. He literally just went around crawling around on the floor like a dog. I was like, okay, well, it's not really symbolism then, is it? It's just
oh well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame. I think you're getting ahead of the film here, aren't you? You've seen too many, like, actually, I don't want to say actually good films, but you've seen too many films that attempt to do something more avant-garde or more artistic, and I think this was meant to be a crowd pleaser, right?
It was a strange way to go about doing a crowd pleaser. Depressing, grim film I've seen since the last one of these we watched.
Yes, We the Poor, which I think I thought at the time, and I'm starting to change my mind. I thought at the time that We the Poor was like they roped them in with pretty songs and a couple of handsome faces and that kind of thing, and then like turned it around and in the cinema went like, yeah, we're going to tell you this heartbreaking story and you've got to sit through it because you've turned up to the cinema now. But actually, based on this, I'm starting to think, and on what Fernando's saying about Mexican people, I'm wondering if this is just what people go for.
Yeah, they had to sort of bear with all the cheery songs in We the Poor, like get to the suffering.
We had a few cheery songs in this.
There's a sequel to We the Poor. I think it's called We the Rich or something. Or no, not We the Rich, but We the Poor, and then the sequel I think is You the Rich.
Other Rincón.
You know what? Yeah, I'd be keen to watch that.
That's cool. I heard this one has a sequel as well.
What?
Which would make some sense, given that it didn't really have a proper ending.
I think, well, I mean, I've just asked Google and it says Now I Am Rich is the sequel to A Place Near Heaven.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now I Am Rich?
Great. And is there yet another plot line where he gets rich and then becomes poor again? Excellent. Yeah, Now I Am Rich. Same year.
Ooh.
God, quick turnaround.
Anyway.
Right, themes, stuff. Laura, you usually keep us on track. Ask us an interesting question.
Oh.
Were there any gay people in the film?
Were there any straight people in the film? No, sorry, that's ridiculous.
This was a very straight film.
It was a pretty straight film.
I don't think so. I think that Pedro Infante, what was his name? So probably just Pedro.
It was Pedro, yes.
He was gay.
Could have been. That could have been the source of his struggle, that he just was never satisfied with his wife. He always wanted to evolve and change her.
That's the explanation.
He clearly had a certain disdain for women, right?
Indeed, and who disdains women? Well, gay people, I guess.
Yeah. The mob boss, I could have believed
he was gay as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe Sonia.
She was
bisexual
gay too. Yeah. So I think they were all sexually frustrated because of the heteronormativity of the society, but had they been allowed to have sex with whomever they wanted, then maybe this would have been a completely different story, a happy story.
Except, as mentioned, if anybody could have sex with anybody they wanted, they'd have sex with Marga Lopez.
Maybe, yes. Wow. Well, she would be a very satisfied woman.
Except presumably she would be looking for someone sort of that isn't Pedro Infante. I don't know.
It's fine. That is fine.
Oh, he was good fun at least, wasn't he?
He was a bit of fun. I did like his violent mood swings.
Yeah. He gets so angry about things.
Yeah, had a real temper on him. I do like that in a character.
He was petulant, wasn't he?
He was petulant. What was that, Claire? Sorry?
I was saying petulant is a good word, I think.
Yep.
I liked how he panicked when the baby was about to be born.
Yes, that was good. Yeah, not being allowed in.
It was because of COVID.
That must be it. I think you'd say it was a real deadbeat dad who doesn't go to the, isn't with his wife when the child's being born these days, right?
Yeah, Yeah, depending on the circumstances.
If you choose to.
Can't really think of any circumstances.
What if they're not together anymore?
Oh, if they're not together anymore, I guess.
What if he's the Prime Minister?
Yes, so he can't keep track of all of his children being born.
Or he's got a D-Day event to go.
We're really dating this with this episode, aren't we?
Too busy disrespecting our brave boys. So I was talking about Boris Johnson, who has like an unknown number of children.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah, try looking it up. Like, there is actually, it's not a matter of public record how many children he has, and he won't.
What if
answer.
I am one of his children?
Well, who knows? He'd have had to start young, I think, but he probably did start young.
Who would you choose to live with?
Well, with him, of course. I mean, he's so fun. I like his jokes.
Pedro. Or Boris Johnson.
Oh.
I meant out of the film.
Out of the film.
Oh.
Wow, we've sort of answered this already,
Margot.
right? Yeah.
That's how you do all of your ironing. Michael.
Yeah, Sonia.
I would ask her not to do any ironing.
Try and keep that woman from ironing. Jeez.
That was just what it was like in the 50s. There were stupid made-up jobs for poor people and women to do that they eventually learned that you just don't need to do those things.
Sonia, Fernando. Yeah, I'd live with Sonia as well. I think she'd be fun.
You would live with Sonia?
Would I?
Out all hours, coming back, sleeping the day away, no care for anyone around her.
No, do you know, I'd live with the Gossip Girl Alpha. We'd have fun together.
I can't remember what Gossip Girl Alpha looked like.
She's an older woman.
Oh, God. Yeah, okay.
Do we want to do... Is there anything else serious we have to say about the film? Any themes? What were the themes? Religion. Poverty.
Poverty.
Those are the easy ones.
Pride.
Pride, yes. Gender role.
Pride and dignity. And when was it pride and when was it dignity? And Pedro was clearly proud, whereas maybe Margarita was just dignified and got it just about right. And Sonia was neither.
Why did the little boy die? I wonder what that meant.
Oh, why did he die?
I suppose it was so they could make that speech at the end about finding God.
Yeah, is it just terrible things happen? And
I
that was
suppose
one
it was
of them.
to give the film a sort of heartbreaking climax.
Yeah.
This huge rush to get him the medication and being too late. It's a bold choice, I suppose. Although I guess if you're a Mexican audience, you wouldn't expect anything else. You'd be angry if the boy lived. You'd be cheated.
Tell you what, I went to see a film today. The kid didn't even die. It probably made some sense as well because the little boy was exclusively talking Greek for the entire film. Or at least speaking some language that Fernando didn't understand.
I did. That was my highlight of the film. I did laugh quite a lot. And then something else got progressively more.
So the little boy, what was his name?
Jose Maria.
Jose Maria, yes. Chema. Little Chema.
Jose Maria, but he was also called Pepe.
Pepe and Chema and Jose Maria, which all means the same thing in Mexico, Michael. Weren't you even reading the subtitles?
Well, I did read that, and I was like, isn't it usually that a name, like a short name for someone is like a part of the longer name? It seems really weird that Jose Maria gets shortened to Pepe. Is there any logic to that?
No. So there are multiple other examples. So for example, Eduardo, I'm typing it here, gets shortened to Lalo. What other names? Concepcion gets shortened to Concha. What other examples
Just
do I
about
have?
see that. It's got conch at the start.
Okay.
But no, those other two are pretty out there. Do we have any weird ones in English?
Oh, a few, I would say. All of my older relatives had different names than their birth names. It's like my Auntie Peg her name was Margaret.
Oh, famously, Francisco gets turned into Pancho.
Huh.
How do you switch from Louis?
Yeah, Luis
That's
turns
longer.
to
I mean,
Oh, well.
that's not a problem in English either. People called Hugh get called Shuggy in Scotland.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I guess nicknames are just weird. Anyway, I didn't really love the little boy all that much.
I'm glad he's dead.
I wasn't going to say that. But he wasn't a big loss to the screen. Like you know, like in the Godfather, after Marlon Brando's character dies, the rest of the scenes are like, this is still good, but I sort of miss the scenes with that one really memorable character in them. And you didn't really get that with Pepe.
No, I'd say he was more of a plot device than a baby.
Yeah, maybe that's why they didn't give him any proper words to say. Oh, poor Pepe. I really loved Pedro not really understanding that newborn babies are all a bit ugly and thinking there was something terribly wrong with it. Another amazing one, though, like they took the baby away and hadn't let the mother hold him yet for like hours after the birth.
Yeah, you wouldn't get that.
Just
that is intense.
So dramatically different now. It's like out straight onto the mother immediately. Yeah.
Yeah, they wouldn't even pass Heather to me. They wanted me to pick Heather up.
Oh, yeah, that was it.
God,
which there is some science to, right?
Yeah, something to do with skin contact. But, yeah.
Do babies imprint? Have we learned that now?
I think so. I think we're getting there.
Also having like officers at the cinema that police your behavior.
Yeah, could have done that within cinema. Done with that in Cinema Paradiso, right?
Yeah, that was an odd one. The first kiss to the concentration camps.
Oh yes. Yeah, what was that trying to say? Was it just making the case that no one was actually watching the film? They were all just making out.
Yeah, the film is just the excuse.
Or suffering and love are inextricably entangled in this time period.
Yeah, there we are.
It reminded me of, I think it's called Flesh and Blood or something. Absolutely dreadful film from the 1980s. But the two protagonists have their first kiss underneath a sort of rotting corpse.
Oh.
That's quite good. Striking.
It was striking, yes. Should we play some games?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, so, I remember Claire one time asked who would we cast with modern actors.
Oh, yeah.
I like that game.
Yeah, we've done that one before.
Yeah. Who do you think would be cast if they made it in Hollywood? Not who would we cast, but who would end up being? Who's hot right now?
Oh, God, it would be...
Ryan Gosling.
No,
that's who
Zorro?
I would pick.
Who is Zorro in, I guess, Zorro?
Antonio Banderas.
Antonio Banderas, yes.
That's what you said for Cromwell as well.
I think Ryan Gosling would do a really good Pedro.
Interesting.
I can't remember. I've known it's been so long.
Emma Stone as Margarita. No, that's not right.
I think Anne Hathaway would get it now. She's got a bit of a resurgence at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
She can do innocent goody-goody, can't she?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Emma Stone is a bit... she's great, but that's not her.
No?
But, yeah, sort of... Yeah, perfect innocent. Who was the girl in Spider-Man / Jumanji? What's her name?
Kirsten Dunst.
Kirsten Dunst. She could do it.
She could do it. She is quite old now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking about her modern role in Spider-Man 2002.
She's still very, very good looking, I think.
Okay.
But they would probably need to de-age her for the start.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's be more appropriate then.
Scarlett Johansson.
Does she play innocent that same way?
Not really.
I don't know if she could capture it.
Yeah. She would bring a little edge to it, but then I think the character could do with a little bit of something else.
I was going to say Lily James, but I'm not sure if that's right.
Could Penelope Cruz be Sonia?
Yes. Totally. You've only mentioned Spanish-speaking actors so far. Which is not such a bad idea. I mean, maybe we should recast this if it was going to be in Spanish again, right?
That's true.
Also,
but you've now named the 2 Spanish actors I know, so...
Also,
Javier
I don't really know. Yeah, that is true. I don't really know, like, the names of foreign actors. I don't really know many names.
Who was the one in Enchanted?
Spanish one?
No. The woman in Enchanted.
Oh, Amy Adams.
Amy Adams.
Yeah. Nailed it.
Perfect.
She was an innocent.
How does she know?
What a film.
What a beautiful film.
Or, what's her name from Atonement? Not Keira Knightley.
Saoirse Ronan.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can do anything.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So we've got Saoirse Ronan or Amy Adams. And then...
What about Don Perez, Sonia's dad?
Joe
Joe
Gary
Pesci.
Oldman.
Gary Oldman.
Cheat.
Sorry. Yeah, I forgot we're not allowed to pick Gary Oldman. Tom Hanks. I think it's too small a role for him, though.
Maybe. Yeah, he's always the star. How about Colin Firth?
Ooh, okay. I think he's too big. You'd just be like, that's Colin Firth.
Okay.
He's not a chameleon like Gary Oldman.
Exactly. Can't just become the role. Well, I think we've gotten quite a lot out of that.
Yep. Brilliant. Good game.
Martin Freeman for everything.
Just Martin Freeman.
Yep.
It's like it's that Eddie Murphy film.
The Clumps, or what was
Clumps. Is it Meet the Clumps?
The Nutty Professor.
Nutty Professor. Does he play everyone in that? I can't even remember.
He plays his whole family, doesn't he?
Excellent. I didn't know that.
One day we should watch The Nutty Professor.
We should.
That should be our swan song. If we're ever disbanding, can we pick The Nutty Professor as the last film we ever watch?
I think if we're disbanding and you get to choose, then it will be your last chance to force us to do it, and nothing else will
I think
ever
we
make
should
us
all
do it.
agree now. Nutty Professor for last film.
Okay, what do I get?
You get to watch The Nutty Professor.
You're not selling this.
I think we should have a last film, and I think The Nutty Professor is a perfectly appropriate choice.
I think so, yeah.
Let's have a vote.
The last film should be whatever the next film about the mutiny on the Bounty is.
Oh,
and when that
we'll
comes out,
after that.
we'll disband because Claire and Fernando can't take it anymore.
Because there's no more point. We've done it all.
What about which character you are?
Yeah, I like that game.
I'm Pedro, obviously.
I am Sonia.
But
Yeah, Fernando Sonia.
Yeah.
yeah, can Fernando and Laura both be Sonia?
Oh, I'm the gossiping woman. That's me. I'm running around telling everyone their husband's business, being like, "Oh, did you see? Well."
Okay, I can see that.
Does that make me Margarita?
Yes,
I think so, yes.
you're my Margarita.
I would swap your roles, I think.
I can definitely see me as the sort of fretting husband, overthinking everything and panicking about this and that. And...
Is that what you did when I was born?
Yes, I sat outside freaking out. and then was alarmed at how ugly she was.
Actually, can I be the rich guy at the end who was like, get away from me, my money. No, you can't have $100.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, okay, so your son is dying. Oh, fine. Here's $100.
I'm sorry, I feel like I should have more things to say about this film. It was good.
No, it was just
Verging on
okay.
average.
Yeah, just okay.
Yeah.
One thing I found notable was that all the songs were about him singing.
Mhm.
Like the lyrics to all the songs were, I'm going to sing you a song. This is the song I'm singing. And I thought that showed a lack of imagination.
Mm.
Yeah, he didn't even just do it once,
No.
right? That happened more than once.
Yeah.
Good songs, though.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were nice, weren't
Mm.
decent chanter.
Was it like the guy in Journey to the Centre of the Earth where he sort of required as part of his contract that he got to sing?
Yes, most likely.
I'll bet it was. I've forgotten about that.
Good old Pedro.
Would you change the end if you wrote and produced it for modern times?
I would change the whole film. Maybe I would not make the film.
I think I wouldn't make that the end. I think I would maybe have that, but I'd either add on a load more stuff at the end to make it a more sort of convincing whole story, or I'd have cut it way earlier and maybe had it when they see Sonia again or something.
Nah, right after he crawls around as a dog, that's where I would have ended it.
Just cut to black credits roll in silence. Yeah.
Good stuff. I liked their disdain for the rich, which only really came through when he was saying, let the rich be happy. They're the only ones who deserve any happiness.
Mm.
But I thought you could tell there was disdain there.
Brutal, yeah.
Yeah, it was quite a searing portrayal of poverty and inequality.
It's just a shame that it wasn't quite as good as We the Poor, which just did everything that this film did, but better.
There was no Chichita.
Yeah.
Oh, Chichita.
Instead we had
She was great. Oh,
Yeah.
honestly, compare Chichita to Pepe.
Pepe. Yeah.
Yeah. He goes to prison, you actually see it, gets into fights.
An old blind woman gets robbed or something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
And then
no,
she
the
dies.
woman who can't speak.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was... And he had his sister, who he was
Yeah.
ashamed of, or wasn't ashamed of, wouldn't tell anyone about her, but she was dying
Right,
of consumption,
yes.
which is classic, classic poor people poverty film. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, this didn't even come close to We the Poor, which is probably why We the Poor was available with English subtitles and this wasn't. Maybe it's an important filter.
I did
Picking
read that.
it.
I think this was at the... What year did this come out?
52?
Apparently 52.
52. The golden age of Mexican cinema was sort of coming to a close by this point. I read that during the war, Mexican cinema had a real golden era that sort of overshadowed even like Hollywood and Europe, which got really, obviously, like their film industries really suffered with the Second World War.
Right.
And lots of their film became just weird patriotic propaganda sort of crap, whereas Mexican had this huge sort of uprising in it. But Pedro Infante actually died in 1957, and the article I read was like it wasn't really, it was around that where the sort of film industry was. It just couldn't keep up with the something
Right.
like that. I can't remember. I should read the article again.
Interesting.
I don't know
Showing
why I
too
said that.
bright and burnt himself.
Yes, I believe so.
Amazing.
There you go. Well, I'm finished.
Yeah.
Yeah, no other thoughts from me.
Are we
Thank you
uploading
for
the
picking
film to YouTube?
I think we should.
Yeah, I think we should as well. And let's see how many views we get.
Well, no other thoughts from me.
Nope.
Thanks again for picking the film and for putting so much work into subtitling it.
Thank you for watching it, and thank you for going through this film.
Thanks.
Excellent.
Next time, High School
High
Musical,
School
El
Musical.
Desafío.
Yes, yes. If you do download it, then I'll add subtitles, but slowly. So basically, it'll take me the rest of the year to put the subtitles because I'll
Imagine
probably
that being like the one thing you do with your free time for a year.
do. I see myself doing that. I mean, I do stupid things like that. Yes. I mean, look at my life.
I think you should try and get it turned around in the next couple of days.
I'm ready to finish when you are, Laura.
Great. I'll play the music. I still haven't found the original clip, so we're going out with the mariachi.
Yay!
Woo!
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 Arriba!
Oh my god,
think-
it's time to pick the next person for the film.
And
3 of us are in the hat. So, for Fernanda, can you count us in?
Wait, how do we do it? Who's going? Are we all just going? I haven't picked yet.
Yes.
Yeah, the 3 of us all go at once and we see what happens, right?
I really want to pick a film. So you guys just try and lose, okay?
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Paper.
Paper.
Scissors. Thank you very much. Well,
Do you
yes,
want to pick my film?
my pick. Well, maybe I'm going to. Who knows? Because my pick is The Three Musketeers, 1973.
Okay, that's pretty good.
That's The Three Musketeers,
Okay.
1973.
Pretty happy with that, actually.